All right, we got Devil, relatively new on our Discord. Seems like a cool guy. And then we have Popcorn Pops, my new favorite quick battle player since my last batch of replays I cast, and I accidentally called him Porn Cop Pops. But now, that's just his name to me now. I hope Popcorn Pops sees some of these sometimes. Sees that he's famous, sees that we love him. And he's taking his Master Necromancer again. We have Zombie Summon, Invocation of Heck, and Gaze of Nagash, 2 Blood Knights, and then for the rest of the army we have a Corpse Cart, Unholy Lodestone, a Necromancer, frontline of zombies, backed up by the recently buffed Graveguard with Halberds. They just got a little bit of price off the top, a little cheaper. 2 Crypt Horrors and a Vargulf. On the other side, for Kislev, we see some units we haven't seen in a while. The Incarnate Elemental of Beasts is back. Was on a DLC where he was crazy overpowered, and then we didn't see him ever again. He does provide a slow Mortis engine when he's in melee combat. A little anti-leadership hex, but he's just proven to be squishy in a lot of matchups. Armored Kossar frontline, Kossar spears to shoot over their heads, 4 Kizlevite warriors in the back, Oath Brothers of Tor for a bit of a blob fight, and then we have an Ice Witch of Tempest with Hawks of Mishka as their spell on a Frostworm. Blood Knights in the distance taking a bit of poke from Little Grom. They'll join when they feel like it as a Gaze and a Gash goes down the side of an Armored Kossar, nearly obliterating the entire unit and already popping their Buyer Blood passive. Should be a pretty good start here for the Vampire counts. Little Grom's damaging the Blood Knights, who are just going to stay back until the front line is actually engaged. Little Grom whiffs a shot over there, but Little Grom's getting some good poke off before this game starts. It's already hit Blood Knights and a Necromancer and stuff. Yeah, 700 value. In comes the Incarnate, charging through zombies, along with the Frostworm Lord. That's what zombies are there for, right? They're there to die. Cryptors also charge in, want to add a little bit of mass to this party, but already their zombie support is gone, so left to wait for Halberds to get to the front. Halberds. Anti-large armor-piercing birds. Anyway, Little Grom fires at point-blank range as the Hawks of Mishka is going to come in. It should do decent damage to the Graveguard with Halberds. Not amazing. The leadership debuff might get stuff to start kind of crumbling, but it's a little early for that to be used. Blood Knight's still chilling on the side. I definitely think they should have been moving in by now, so a little bit of mistiming. I appreciate that they didn't want to charge in before the infantry got here, but it's taken them a little too long to get into this battle. As already the Crypt Horror is taking a lot of damage. Another Gaze in the Gash down the side of these armored Kossars, nearly taking them out. It's a good job focusing down the armored infantry. We do have 3 Graveguard with Halberds, but you want them to fight large targets. Like, for example, the Oath Brothers of Tor and the Incarnate Elemental Beast fighting on top of Halberds is going to be pretty brutal, especially when they're buffed up by the Necromancer, giving them more melee attack and melee defense. Blood Knight's still not coming in, as Little Grom pokes away at that Master Necromancer. Where are the Blood Knights? I mean, I know where they are. They're right frickin' there, but they do need to move in. Kizlevite warriors are brought up from the back line, seeing there's no dog threat or anything like that. They just get thrown at the front. Still, all 3 Graveguard with Halberds going to grind away. Still pretty healthy, those Graveguard with Halberds. I think there's one that's wounded, it's in the middle, but it does have a Necromancer still slowly healing it up as the Incarnate tries to get to the Necromancer and deal some damage to him. Oath Brothers of Tor are already missing half their HP. And a zombie summon on the backline stops some of those archers, but here come the Blood Knights at last, charging into the fray. We'll see if they can get here in time. This Little Grom, I'm really appreciating how much Little Grom has been firing in melee. Like, there's chaos all around him, yet he's been firing at the Master Necromancer. He shot at Crypt Horrors at point-blank range. He just hit the Vargulf, who charges in the Incarnate. He's not resting on his laurels. As the Hawks of Mishka, unfortunately, goes off into nowhere for Kislev, it just kind of tickled these guys for a little bit, and then left. The Graveguard with Halberds. This is maybe the first replay I've seen them actually doing pretty well, as they are starting to bunker bust through, still hanging on. A Vargulf very close to crumbling away. Invocation Hex going to save him at the last second. He's just doing decent damage to the Ice Witch Tempest. He does have Crypt Horror support nearby. And as always, I mean, there's just Halberds all over the place now. For the 3 Halberds, there's one over there. This one's almost dead, and this one's fine. 4 minutes into the game, the Blood Knights will finally join the fray, charging down Kossars with spears. Won't do crazy damage to them on the charge, but they do enough. Rear charging Kizlevite warriors also procs their Buyer Blood. Balance power is 50-50 as the Master Necromancer continues to just loom overhead, hackling away, casting his spells. Where's the Necromancer? Has he died? The basic Necromancer? I don't see his little icons yet. It looks like he was sniped out at last. Another Hawk's down onto the Graveguard and zombies. Doing decent damage there. This other Blood Knight gets completely wrecked by the Oathbrozator as Little Grom takes another chunk off the Master Necromancer. But the Oathbrozator plus the Ice Witch plus these spears are going to take out the Blood Knight. So unfortunately, held in reserve for a long time and then charge in only to die. Other Blood Knight still full HP. Looks like they might try and get some extra damage here. As Little Grom takes another chunk off the Master Necromancer. He just don't miss, I suppose. And the Invocation Heck is used onto the Vargulf, not the Master Necromancer. I think he's kind of calculating that he's safe enough in the sky if he can start dodging these Little Grom shots, or if the Graveguard with Halberds can get in there and really cause some disruption. Still have one healthy Graveguard. The other Graveguard is salvageable if it gets to fight next to the Corpse Cart, but the Corpse Cart does have to move in and facilitate that kind of thing. As Little Grom seems more than happy to just keep poking at the Master Necromancer when he can. Blood Knight's going to back off from their fight with the Oathbrozator, who are still, I wouldn't say healthy, but they've got some oomph left to them. Bounce power goes back towards the middle. His vampire counts are slowly closing in. The Ice Witch has taken a lot of damage. So is the Incarnate Elemental Beast. So have the Oathbrozator. So they are running out of steam. If the vampire counts have anything, it's you know, it's the oomph. It's the do you miss ever? Anyway, they're here to grind. They never give up, never give in. And this Master Necromancer needs some healing real bad. As the Howl of the Great Beast disrupts the vampire counts a little bit, causes some of them to start crumbling with their leadership debuff. But the Incarnate himself is going to start getting that demonic instability crumbling soon. That'll take him out nice and quick. No more Mortis Engine. In fact, it's already disabled because he's too low on HP. So the Incarnate will go away. Hawks of Mishka is down to try and get these guys to leadership crumble a little bit more. As Little Grom hits the Master Necromancer again! Again! 1900 value for him. He is truly the MVP as he has just saved this game. I honestly think Kislev actually might have just been in trouble if the Master Necromancer had lived, but the fact that Little Grom shot him like 4 times in a row and just killed him off. No more spells, no more leadership. Because this was like a little dicey. Imagine if the Master Necromancer was still alive. Oathbrozator are about to die to halberds. Little Grom smokes the Vargulf. And, ugh. If the Blood Knights had been used a little bit better, Vampire Counts could have won this, but someone somewhere had to get Little Grom, because he is solo carrying this game. Now it's just a Corpse Cart and some surrounded halberds. A bunch of Kislev infantry can slowly drag them down as the Frost Worm is going to cycle charge bounce power as Army loses territory against the Vampire Counts. And it was a pretty good game. It's a pretty good game. Looks like Kislev will win it, and by that I mean Little Grom will win it. This guy's hacks. I heard you shoot, but you didn't actually shoot. You just canceled it. Army losses. Little Grom OP. Good game overall. Good game. Oathbrozator, Incarnate, the Lord, and Little Grom all got good value. Armored Kossars got wrecked by Gazes of Nagash down their lines, so that was pretty brutal. Kislev Warriors and the regular Kossar Spears did alright. For Popcorn Pops, his Lord got okay value, but he is a support Lord. Graveguard with Halberds did very well. Blood Knights did not do great. Unfortunately, Cryptors did fine. Vargulf did fine. That's GG. Roar. Subscribe, yes, yes.